SAT prep. This is 3.8.15 on page 551, so that's practice test 3, section 8, number 15. This is a really bad version of the graph that is in the book that it has maze completion times. And I didn't label that on the top of my graph, but you have the graph in the book and it's better than my graph. So Doug's biology experiment involved timing 12 hamsters in a maze. Each hamster received at least one practice before being timed. The scatter plot shows the time each hamster took to complete the maze and the corresponding number of practices that each hamster received. Based on the data, which of the following functions best models the relationship between t, the number of seconds to complete the maze, and p, the number of practices? So t as a function of practices, right? So the thing to notice here is that so they give us a bunch of options. Let's walk through the options they give us first, right? So t of p equals 44. That would be a horizontal line at 44, right? T of p equals p. That's answer B, which is not a good fit, but we'll talk about that in a sec. T of p equals 44p. T of p equals p over 44, right? And answer E is T of P equals P plus 44. Okay, so the thing to notice here is that the line that we're looking at is pretty close to horizontal. In fact, if you notice, having more practices doesn't actually significantly improve the hamster's chances of not running into the hamsters don't get better as they practice, right? These hamsters took basically the same amount of time. So if the line went across just at 44, that's a pretty much a best fit line, and that's essentially where T of P is 44. The time it takes is on average about 44 seconds, and it doesn't seem to depend at all on how much the hamsters practiced, and that is our answer, is answer A. Another way to see if that's a good fit is you could try plugging in some of the practice numbers and see if you get in the right neighborhood. So just to show you why some of the others aren't a good fit, right? T of P equals P means that when practice is 1, it should take 1 second. Like if the hamster practiced once, it should only take it 1 second to finish. Well, that would look like this, and 2 seconds, and 3 seconds, and 4 seconds, and 5. So it would look like this, and that's definitely not right, right? T equals 44 times the number of practices. Well, the problem with that is that, so if you plug in 1, it's about right. If you plug in 1, you get a 44, fine. But if you plug in a 2, you should get an 88, which is so high it's off the chart, so that can't possibly be right. P divided by 44, well, that would mean that when the hamster practiced once, you'd be looking at a 1 over 44, which is basically close to 0, and then a 2 over 44, and a 3 over 44, and a 4 over 44, and that's not right. And then this would say P plus 44, which means that when you plug in a 1, you get a 45, and when you plug in a 2, you get a 46, and you get a 47, and a 48, and a 49, and that's actually closer than some of the others, but that would be indicating a constant upward motion, which again indicates more order than we actually have here. Really, it looks like the practice did absolutely nothing for the hamsters.